There it is. I wanted to start the other intro. We have our new bowl intro there. So yeah, apologies to everybody that got to see an intro and a half. Congratulations. Hey, it's Scott and Scott doing our bowl special here. Good to be here with you guys as we're taking a look at all the Friday bowl games. I am, of course, your host, Scott Steen, lead handicapper at winnersandwiners.com, joined as always by you know him, you love him. It is the one, the only.
Scott Reichel, senior handicapper over winnersandwiners.com.
And together we do this every day as we Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central. Scott and I host a little show we call Heading Back to the Window with Scott and Scott, looking at all the favorite plays of the day, breaking down yesterday's action, and generally speaking, having a good time and shenanigans by all. Hey, Scott, I know you're aware of this. I want to share it with all of our listeners. We are now part of the Caesars family. Got Caesars as a great sponsor here. Love the Caesars. Time to have a little fun with the Caesars Sportsbook. You've seen the commercials with JB Smoove and Holly Berry. They're cool, but they're going to give you an even better reason to come along for the ride. They are going to give their first-time depositors opening bet on them, basically up to $1,001, win, lose, or draw. Pretty much a guaranteed play for you. It's the perfect way for new bettors who have not yet tried the app or the online service to get a really super deal. So, of course, download the Caesars app on your phone, open that baby up, or go online, check out the website. There's a link in the show box. It's actually the show box of our regular daily video, so make sure you check that out. But the important part is when you get to where they want to know your promo code Video Winners, all one word, just like it sounds. Put that in there, plug it in. You're going to be all set to go. Again, get that opening bet match up to $1,001. You must check the link in the show box to make sure that the offer is valid in your state. And of course, as always, you must be 21 to play. Bet with your head, not over it, etc., etc. So yeah, make sure you check that out. That's a pretty cool deal, Scott. I wish we had it in my state. I really do. I might have to take a little trip to Iowa this week. Just saying. I'm pretty excited about this game. Bowl number 32, if you're keeping track at home. This is the Tony the Tiger game, the Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl. Scott, what is this game going to be? It's going to be, is it going to be bad? It's good. It's going to be great. Thank you. This is Central Michigan, a late fill-in. They were headed over to Tempe, but now they're going to El Paso, Texas. That's Spanish for the Paso, by the way, Scott. Central Michigan, 7-point dogs to Washington State. The Cougars, touchdown favorites, 58 is the total here. So, Scott, if you know anything about Washington State, you know they like to throw the ball. They're not as nutty as they were with Leach. It's more of a run and shoot versus kind of an all-out air raid attack. But they will balance it out. They do run the football. They hit 200 yards each of their last two games. But the big problem with running the football for Washington State, this one, going to be they're missing their poor man's Christian McCaffrey, the Swiss Army knife that is Max Borghi. He is taking his talents to the NFL, where hopefully he will be a healthy version of Christian McCaffrey someday.
What do you think? Fourth round pick, give or take?
I think that sounds about right. Late third, early fourth, somewhere second day probably. They're going to also be without one of their road graders on the line. Abraham Lucas, the tackle, is going to be out, as is pretty darn good corner in Jalen Watson. Now, my friends, if you did not get an opportunity to see Maction this fall, you really missed out on some terrific offensive performances, and not a few of them by this Central Michigan team. Number one, probably they have the leading rusher in the nation, a little young fellow by the name of Lou Nichols, 1,710 yards this season, 15 touchdowns on the ground. But he's just kind of the warm-up act, because the real star of this team, at least the person that we like to watch play the most, Scott, is their leading wide receiver, Khalil Pimpleton. He's caught 65 balls, 16 yards per catch. But that ain't where the highlight reels are. He is the best punt returner in the nation. If you haven't seen him, tune into this game just to watch him return punts. Much like you turned into San Diego State just to watch the dude punt, you're going to watch this guy return punts. He is electric. And a pretty good Chippewas team, Scott. They don't make a lot of mistakes. They play solid defense. They don't create a lot of turnovers. They've picked off only 5 passes, including just 2 in MAC play. They can get dinked and dunked on by Washington State, so they're going to have to tighten it up. But I think that this Central Michigan team, pretty high-powered offense, is going to have a little something for Washington State, who'll be operating without their star Max Borghi.
I like Central Michigan money line. I think they're going to win the game.
There you go.
But for the sake of the actual spread, of course, give me the +7. Washington State should not be favored by this many points. And I know that Borghi is a very good player. Now it doesn't matter. They're missing a couple of guys as well besides Borghi. Central Michigan, as far as I know, is missing nobody. So they brought back the whole lot of guys to play in this game. I think Central Michigan's a really good team. And offensively, they have talent. I think Richardson's a good quarterback as well, so they can throw the ball. Nichols a very good running back. Pimpleton's a very good special teams guy and wide receiver. The issue that I have with
a lot of good quarterbacks in the MAC that you've never heard of.
Yeah,
these guys play under the radar. Good numbers.
You can make an argument that Delora's maybe a little bit better, but I think it's close. And the fact that it's close, and I arguably like Central Michigan supporting cast more, this line really just throws me for a loop. Give me Central Michigan and give me the money line. I think you'll see a nail biter throughout, but 7 is a really tall number to cover in this spot.
We're starting to see some 7.5s too. We're starting to see juicy 7s and some 7.5s creeping into the picture. So I would wait. We've already hit 7. You know, it's all downhill from here. We might get it. We might get it to 7.5 or 8 and scoop it up, man. Every half point counts, especially around that 7 number. You guys know that. I don't hate your money line play there, Scott, but I think this.
I see a question in the comment box about who Central Michigan beat. To go through the bowl teams that this team has beaten, they beat Toledo, they beat Western Michigan, they beat Kent State, they beat Ball State, and they also beat Eastern Michigan. So they've actually beaten a decent amount of bowl teams. Of course, they're MAC teams, but still, they have beaten some quality competition. I think Western Michigan's pretty good. And they beat them.
They're a team that if you underestimate them, you're gonna be in for a long day. You know, I would looking at Washington State's schedule here. Played BYU tough. They lost to Oregon. They did have a nice win over Arizona State. And
that's a better question. Who did Washington State beat?
You know, they got blown out by USC. They got beat by Utah, but covered the 15, so they didn't get a lot.
They beat Oregon State.
Yep.
They beat Arizona State. That's two bowl eligible teams. That's it.
That's it.
Washington didn't make it. Arizona didn't make it. Stanford didn't make it. California didn't make it. Portland State didn't make it. So they beat 2 bowl teams the entire season.
Yep, that's it. So again, I think if they play their best game of the season, or a top 10% kind of game, I think they can win and cover. But I think this Central Michigan team is absolutely live here. I like them with the points.
Yeah, I agree, and I like the over as well.
I think
I can't take an under there.
I think you're gonna have 2 teams that want to go up and down the field, and I think they're gonna have success doing that. I've got the over 58 there as well. So.
Yeah.
All right, that's going to do it for our bowl preview from the Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl, Central Michigan, Washington State. Scott and I agree. We're both on the underdog in this situation, catching the 7, and we are both on the over 58. Man, boring so far, Scotty. We split on the total last time, so that's not bad. All right, you guys stay tuned. We'll be right back with our previews for the national semifinals games. So it begins, Scott. So it begins. We'll see you guys in just a minute. Good luck on all your plays. Thanks for watching.